Van Pelt, Tavita, TTE Tavita. Today, rocking off our own. And it's our, hold up, y'all. I got my, speakers is loud. All right, we're good. Week 3 of the football season is over. Week 3 of the NFL season is over. Time to recap. You guys already know TTEspn live with you every Tuesday, 7:30 Central Time, right? Whatever time zone it is in Kansas City at 7:30. Be smarter than me. You do the math for wherever that is on your end. We are here, ready to recap. And guess what? You see the pom poms on the thumbnail. You see it, so you already know we got to start off the show right. It's the only way, baby. It's the only way. Dun, 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 where it begins. I'm glad he's gone. I can sing and do what I want. Can't begin to know it. But can I hold it cold? I don't know these parts, but it's cool. Do, 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 do. Where's in the spring? And spring begins in summer. Yeah. If your team won, celebrate by singing Sweet Caroline with me. You don't have to, because I'm going to do it on my own. Oh, yeah. Touching hands. Reaching out. Touching me. Touching you. Sweet Caroline. Good times never seem so good. All right, and then now I really don't listen to the song after that. Yo, what up? What up? Carolina Panthers have won, so clearly if I have the show alone this week, then we are going to talk about Carolina Panthers and we are going to celebrate. How are you guys doing today? How is it going in your life? Make sure during this, after this, take 5 minutes of your day, text somebody you love them, tell them you love them. Life be short out in these streets. Life really do be short out in these streets. Value those who are around you. Do what you love. Do it with the people that you love. So when it's time, we can all just lay at rest and be at rest. All right. Week 3 of the NFL season. But before we get started, we always do what's happening, what's going on in your life this week. So today I found out that Reese's has a Super King size 6-cup candy bar. Not 4, 6. Yes, not 4, 6. SIXX. 6. 6 Reese's cups in one pack. That thing is big. And so now everybody in my house can get one instead of me having to cut 2 of them in half so each of the kids can have a half. So big ups to them. Big ups to the people of Reese's for being a candy of the people, looking out the way that they are. And if you don't feel like sharing, now you don't have to buy a 4-pack and a 2-pack or double up on 2 4s. You could get a 6 and then, like make an excuse as if you are looking to share with somebody else. I will air out a grievance. I will air out a grievance. You guys know it's Gatorade forever. It is Gatorade forever. This is one of those times in life where I will give you guys a lesson about loving unconditionally. I love my wife. Be going 8 years of marriage in November, about 10, 11 years together. And over the last month and a half, I'm trying to move myself off of soda. And so, I'm getting Gatorades, teas, and my body's not just taking soda anymore. Like it physically, kind of messes up my body. So I have to stop this faking in front I'm doing. I'm really not Team Mountain Dew no more. I'm not team none of that. I be drinking healthy out here as possible. But when I ask what she wants from the store, she knows I'm gonna get a Gatorade, usually the lemon lime kind, and she'll be asking for the cucumber. Everybody's not perfect. Everybody's not perfect. and you have to love them exactly where they are, and you have to love them despite of the choices and decisions that they decide to make in their life. Um, I'm not gonna let it break us. I'm gonna continue to love her throughout her drinking cucumber lime Gatorade. All right, all right. What is happening with your team? It's a good space for me to start. Carolina Panthers got their first victory. The Carolina Panthers got their first victory of the year after suffering a loss to the Cleveland Browns week 1, week 2 to the New York Giants. We finally pulled it out in week 3 against the New Orleans Saints. Nobody better than to get your first victory on than the New Orleans Saints. This are they're a horrible organization. Um, they say the culture and the food is wonderful down there. I call cap until I get there. I think they're overhyped, but hey, always is good to beat up on them. Baker Mayfield is everything that we knew him to be. This defense became everything that I believe that they should be in this week. Consistency is key. Brian Burns, J.C. Horn was one of the top graded and is currently one of the top graded cornerbacks in the NFL. Derek Brown, who a lot of people was so ready to jump off the bandwagon on and to call him a bust all offseason, has just been playing tremendously to me this year. Jeremy Chin's an absolute monster. Love him. DJ Moore has 7 catches through 3 games. I have about 3 bets with people. I have a DJ Moore versus DK Metcalf, Deontay Johnson, and I think I have DJ Moore versus somebody else in catches, yards, and touchdowns. And I'm probably going to lose that bet. It's the world of Baker. They just can't connect. 58% of his passes is catchable. The other ones that are catchable, like he's airtight to somebody. We had to do a receiver reverse to kind of give him some room to finesse. If it wasn't for Laviska Shenault, 69-yard catch and run, Baker Mayfield would have barely had 100 yards. Christian McCaffrey, man, a healthy Christian McCaffrey is just an entertainment to anybody to watch, man. If you see healthy CM, that's how a white man runs the football. That's how it goes down, man. That really is how it goes down. Christian McCaffrey, absolute monster, man. He's been playing big for us. Frankie Louvu. This team next week will play Arizona. Fairly confident because we've kind of had our way with Arizona the last couple of years and no D-Hop. So I feel a little bit better. That's on to me. On behalf of Soy Sauce and his Eagles, we have a bet. Baker Mayfield versus Jalen Hurts. Passing yards, completion percentage, interceptions, and 2 more of the things that my brain can't bring up right now. There's 5 total categories, all passing. And the loser of that bet has to wear the other person's jersey. So if Jalen wins, I have to wear a Jalen jersey during the Super Bowl. If Baker wins, he has to wear a Baker jersey during the Super Bowl. We will be in Vegas for the Super Bowl together. We started a tradition of getting together for the Super Bowl last year. We got together our first year doing it in Vegas. Had a blast, best time. We kicked it. Hibachi time. If you're watching this, shoot us a sponsor. We could use a plate. Just 1 plate on the house. I know it's a lot of us. We don't need too many plates, but we're like y'all be taxing, but it's worth it. So like $25, I'll take that. Like we'll just take 1, bro. Philadelphia Eagles 3-0, a team that we talked about in the beginning of the year. We said this is probably one of the most well-rounded rosters in the NFL. O-line, depth at D-line, backers, secondary, the addition of A.J. Brown, the potential emergence of Devontae Smith, which we got to see that this week. We got to see tracking the ball, how he can high point the ball, man. It's wild, like the talent that man possesses. And seeing Jalen Hurts. What happens when you have a coach and a franchise that believes in you and put you in that position to succeed? And if he was to fail, this team would fail. But then that will be okay, not in a sense, because this is the last year of his rookie deal. And then after that, you can either say, hey, we need to fully invest into this guy, or we need to be ready to find somebody else. And as of right now, Jalen Hurts truly is starting to embody, I think, what the people of Philadelphia want to see in a quarterback. And it's dope. It's dope to see that. His counterpart, Cousin Tua. Y'all see what Cousin Tua was out there? I mean, they have some things going on, but Jalen Hurts and Cousin Tua both in possessions of teams with who are 3-0, undefeated. Defeated. They are both undefeated. They ain't lost. I ain't gonna spell it no more. I ain't trying to be embarrassed out here. All right. We have a situation on our hands. Miami Dolphins will be playing Thursday night. There is a league-wide investigation into the handling of Cousin Tua and his concussion protocol. They're going to see if there is foul play. People don't believe he was supposed to be in that game. And I do think at some point you have to protect the player. I don't think there's no player who works hard who, if you say, hey man, you want to go out there, he's gonna go, nah, son, I'll chill. I don't believe that. So there is a safety protocol put in place. The effects can linger longer. We start to see the dangers of what can happen with players who have concussions, and who take this example in my case, Luke Kuechly. After that last one, everybody was kind of like, man, it's just safer for you to step away from the game. So we do have to protect the players at points. So we will see what happens with Tua. It would look extremely, extremely shady on the Dolphins' part to rest Tua Thursday night for safety reasons, and you put him in that game Sunday. This is kind of one of the tough parts about having a Thursday night game. Short notice, short rest. You don't want to be like, oh man, he's super tired for Sunday. Like maybe you shouldn't have put him back in that game, and he could have been cool without all this going on. But in that game, Cepha Sharp, TTE Killer Cepha, he had mentioned very, very earlier in the week, last week, he said, hey, y'all, I think Buffalo's peaking early, which is correct, like which we all started to agree with. It's much more important to be playing this level of football after week 8. First couple weeks, it's all sexy, it's all cute, but now you're putting stuff on film. Let's see how your team adjusts when there's a little more out there. There's wear and tear on your bodies. And it hit Buffalo. Many, many, many injuries. I'm talking about many, many, many injuries. They was without a lot of players. And what did they do? This is what we've been talking about in protecting your quarterback. Josh Allen had 60. Count them. 6-0. You got 4-0, 5-0, 6-0. 6-0. Like the 6 Reese's Cups in the pack I was talking about. For every one of those we ate, he threw the ball 10 times. All right. He threw the ball 60 times against the Dolphins. You need to protect your quarterback. And there probably could have been occasions in that game where they could have been handing the ball off, trusting the game. This is kind of the overusage of Josh Allen that people start to fear could potentially wear him down. When you were such a physical specimen and doing all this, sometimes you're kind of like, or from my point of view, when you have such a talent at quarterback, you trust him so much, you're willing to wear him out and to do all this, and you probably could change other ways by helping him out. Would you have said a Jalen Hurts cousin to a team would be 3-0 after 3 weeks into the season? Could have put $5 on that on Bovada, and you probably would have cut chigga, ching ching, cashed in. Am I worried for the Bills? I absolutely am. You go see Brother Lamar, 2 away games. Team clearly struggled with the Heat last week. We now get to turn around and see if probably what I would consider MVP frontrunner Lamar Jackson, how can Josh Allen and his Bills team now go to Baltimore and deal with Brother Lamar? We gonna see there. So in the week 3 recap, Thursday night game, Steelers Browns. We had this game was absolutely funny. There was a FanDuel sporting bet that the Steelers would cover 7. Nick Chubb and Najee Harris would both score a touchdown. And all was fine and dandy. Everybody who made that bet on FanDuel was going to cash out until the final play of the game when they did the lateral and they got the fumble recovery for a touchdown, and it broke the spread. Many of people lost out on bread. For the Steelers, 0-6 without TJ Watt. Uh, Pittsburgh wide receivers are having to make some of the most acrobatic, outstanding catches in the world to make a catch. For Mitch Trubisky, Najee Harris, Jay Warren, looking like a beast out there. How much longer will we have to wait before Pittsburgh finally says it's time to let Kenny Pickett have a chance? We had an over and under to begin the year that if Kenny Pickett would start 10 games or less. I had a conversation with some people, mainly my brother, who we all thought Kenny Pickett was going to be rookie of the year just because he was probably going to be the only quarterback who saw significant time. And an average rookie year as a quarterback probably would have got it to you. But Garrett Wilson, look, and Chris Olave, they snapping. How much longer do we have to wait before we see Mitch Trubisky? How much longer does Mike Tomlin have this security as a head coach? I've been on record saying all the time, I think this man has the most grace that the world can allow when it comes to head coach because Pittsburgh don't roll like that. But the people of Pittsburgh might be getting tired, and I think the best way for them and for himself to kind of find out this year is to let Kenny at least get 10 games this year so you know if you have a guy that you can go into next year with or if you will be finding yourself into the quarterback market again next season. There's a lot of very, very talented quarterbacks coming out in next year's draft. Definitely like next year's class compared to what came out in this year's class. I think if those guys was in this class, then some of these guys would have been like ranked third or fourth on that list. So we'll see. The Cleveland Browns, currently 2-1. Next week they'll be going to play the Atlanta Falcons. One thing that I can always say that I'm extremely impressed with this team is I do like the way Stefanski calls games. And Jacoby Brissett, like he reminds me of like David Garrard, man. Like this dude is like he just gets the job done. He hit them QB scrambles. He's like 31 for 32. Got up and was like, y'all, let's go. So yeah, Jacoby Brissett, he gets the job done. This team, with how the Bengals started slowly, the Bengals have a very tough finish to their year. This team, if they get to week 13 and they are 500 or a game over 500, could still find their way working themselves into the playoffs, and we might be able to see what this team would look like at that time. We still won't know what Watson looks like at that time, but if this team with Brissett can still be in the playoff picture in week 13 when Watson shows up, then we do know that this is still a good team at least. And at least with Brissett, we kind of know the floor of it. We don't know the ceiling, but we know the floor of what this team could be. So the Browns also got, the line of the week for us. So if you like to put a little bit of Pachinko on the line, look at that Browns line against the Falcons. That's kind of a hitter right there. You might want to drop some shekels on there. As we get through our week 3 review, get to the 12 o'clock games. We talked about the Saints Panthers. First time in my life I ever heard my bro J10 like snap on, Jameis. He said, dude, he was upset. He was upset. I think he'll be okay, like if they bounce back. But he's kind of fed up. He's kind of fed up with Jameis. Alvin Kamara, like the defense is there. Chris Olave is a monster. I said it on draft night. I hate the fact that they drafted him, and I hate the fact that I'm going to have to hate Chris Olave over the course of his time with the New Orleans Saints. That's going to it's not going to be fun. It's not going to be fun. It's not going to be fun. So the Saints go next week and they play in London versus the first London game of the season versus the Minnesota Vikings. We'll see how that goes. Carolina will be in Carolina. It's the Arizona Cardinals. We're not going to beat the dead horse. Keep pounding. Texans Bears. I'm not going to lie, y'all. I didn't really tune too much into this game. The Texans seem to be doing everything possible to make sure that they are competitive and keep that top draft pick. So that seems like what they're doing is they're like, hey, we're going to be good enough, but we're going to make sure we keep this top draft pick, which is perfectly fine. You're allowed to do that. You can do that, rebuild the right way. Will we see Davis Mills get a year 3? And I'm not gonna lie. He probably will though. I'm on the Davis Mills year 3 train. I know Moonwalker's on the Davis Mills. It's Davis Mills country. But I think there's some other talents that they can add to that roster before going for quarterback. And I know that sounds bad, but I think it's just kind of a lovey thing. All right, Justin Fields 2-1. Bears are 2-1. Is it? Oh well, I had them winning like 5, 6 games this year. I think everybody else had them winning like 3 or 4. So they're halfway there. We'll see how they go from there. It's going to be a while. Let's see when the matter of fact. Let me pull this up real quick because they aren't the only team who does not currently have a win. Um, the Oakland Raiders is one also, and that's gonna bring us to a segment we'll talk about called "Chasing the Car." Have to wave my flag on these guys. You feel me? All right. So week 1, the Houston Texans tied with the Colts. Week 2, they lost to Denver. Week 3, they lost to Chicago Bears. Next on their schedule, week 4 against the Los Angeles Chargers. I don't think they're gonna win that. Week 5 against the Jaguars. I don't think they're gonna win that. And then they have a bye week. So I think they could be over going into week 6 of the bye week. So when do they get their first win? Week 7 against the Raiders when they play the Raiders. I don't want to do that with them, man. But man, you know the Raiders, the Titans. They do always find a way to kind of play close with the Titans. So maybe they're week 9 versus the Eagles, y'all. I definitely could tell you now. I don't think they're going to get a win in their next 2 games, and they will be going to week 6 with no wins. So I don't want to drag this on and make it seem like I'm trying to push them to not win a game because they have been competitive. It's also no motivation to win a game. I think you should kind of play it as it is, but you got to. So we'll see. But they do got the Chargers and the Jacksonville. I'm gonna go ahead and chalk both them up to Zell, so they'll go into their week 6 bye week with no wins at all. Sorry, y'all. Didn't want to do it to you. It just be like that sometimes. You feel me? All right. So let me get back to my schedule over here of the week 3 games and get this loaded up. Is this the upset of the week? Colts beating the Chiefs 20-17 at home. The team with 3 1s, 1-1-1. 1-1 lost, 1 tied 1. You beat the Chiefs, but you're tied to the Texans. And yeah, you lose to the Jags. Who are the Colts? Are they the overvalued? I said that they are. Do they have a grip on this division? We came into the year saying that they would win the division. But we said, keep an eye on Jacksonville because Dougie P and Trevor Lawrence is going to shake some stuff up as they are. So we'll see. We did say that this team would not accomplish no more than what it did with Carson Wentz and with Phillip Rivers, but we thought that the other teams weren't as prepared. But it looks like, specifically in Jacksonville's case, they're ready to compete and to really get busy with these people. So I definitely got my money on them with that. Kansas City Chiefs balling. Y'all know I'm here in KC, so when KC loses, I hear every single part of it. I hear every single part of it. But then when I get to work with my OG, I get to hear another part of it. And some of the stuff that he's been telling me over the last couple months is stuff that we've been saying before, but he says things like, we're in the red zone. We ain't got no big body receivers just to make it easy. Throw it up, let them get it. We're always trying to do this trickery in the red zone. This is the importance of special teams. Kickers missing field goals. Harrison Butker, who was with the Panthers before he got released and then went to Kansas City and became one of the best kickers in the NFL. Harrison Butker is out. Kickers, they're not as appreciated as most people want them to be. It's not as sexy, but when you mess up as a kicker, the world is going to know. Believe me. Ooh, Gatorade if y'all want to. It's me and Soy, and sometimes we have like a couple other people. Once a week, 1 bottle each for all of us. Like that'll be dope. You know what I'm saying? We don't need no money. Just a free bottle of Gatorade to drink while we're here. All right. Kansas City goes to Tampa Bay next week. Tampa Bay is also 2-1. One of those teams will leave that game 500. We'll see who. I can't remember off the top of my head who the Colts play right now. I cannot. The Titans, I believe. Yeah, I got them taking that one. I do have them taking that one. We'll get there, but I'm wrapping my mind around it. Questions that I have for both teams going forward. Will we see from the Colts? Is this ever going to click? Is this who they are? Is Atlanta not really as at fault for things that people made it because the Colts is having some Falcon-like symptoms that I've seen them have the last couple years? And in case with the Chiefs, um, a lot of people all offseason spoke to me about how deep this wide receiver core was supposed to be, and it's even better without Tyreek. And it's just not the case. It's just not the case. You do have good weapons, but it's Andy Reid. You have to allow these receivers time to learn the scheme. Andy doesn't do this. Hey man, just go out there and run this and that. Like there's a madness behind this genius of this man. So we'll see. Said again, I keep an eye on the this generation's Tom Brady and Tom Brady matchup next week. Buffalo Bills, Miami Dolphins. We talked about that 21-19. The Miami Dolphins 3-0. Buffalo Bills 2-1. The Bills again will be going to play the Ravens. One of those two teams will be leaving the building 500. The injuries to the Bills are going to start to linger and affect them as the season goes on. And I think this is when you have to learn from becoming an explosive offense to becoming one who can control the game, who can learn to take care of the clock and use the clock to your advantage to make other teams feel that pressure. Big ups to Mike McDaniels, Mike Jones, Miami Dolphins head coach, man. A lot of people they had our jokes about him and stuff through the offseason, not me. But we always give new head coaches the ability to kind of allow how we should view them before we put this standard on them. It really does seem like they got things going on right over there. In Miami, low key, as an organization, some dirty people. They got the scandal with Tom. They done lost draft picks, the Brian Flores deal, and now they under investigation for concussions. Like Miami, I kind of learned to lay low, bro. Y'all kind of the Scarface ownership out there right now, man. Y'all really taking this to life, boy. Vice City. Hey, but listen, hey, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. You know what I'm saying? So hey, do what you got to do. Tom Brady cheated. They slapped him on the wrist, but he still kept his dubs, right? Hey, maximum effort. Maximum effort from the field to the ownership. Do what you got to do. Hey, get out there. It's all right. Get out there. We got you. Detroit Lions, Minnesota Vikings. Boy, I thought we was out of this one. I picked the Vikings to win. As I was watching the score early, I was like, "Oh, good lord, what is going on with these guys?" But the Vikings seem to pull it together and get it together at the end there, man. It's almost like God. It's almost like sometimes they can't get out of both of these teams can't get out of themselves. I am thoroughly impressed with the Lions' ability to put up points. This O line is their O line is so good, man. And I think that's one of the best ways that you could build because whatever you decide to do with a franchise from there as a quarterback position, they're going to be protected. And it's much easier to find weapons than to find the protection. It really does take chemistry, talent, and development to get a O line functioning together. So big ups to the line and Dan Campbell for what they're doing. They are heavy favorites next week against the Seahawks. The Vikings going. I think that probably should be clockwork to be real, but let's not talk too bad about them too early. I would love to see them take L's back to back. Brother Lamar, Baltimore Ravens and the New England Patriots. Maximonius Jones out for a couple weeks. Is this the early call for Megamind to call it in and to get him an early? We haven't seen the Patriots with an early draft pick in a extremely long time. So I'm kind of intrigued. I mean, we said the Patriots would only have 5 wins max, calling it 5 wins max. We put our flag in there, 5 wins max. But hey, Bill, do me up. Get three. Get three. Show me I'm wrong and get three. Um, and let's see what the Patriots would do with a top pick. Because like I said, I was you telling me if Bryce Young's sitting in your face, you not gonna be like, hey Mac, we're probably gonna ship you down there to New Orleans or something. Go from there. Brother Lamar putting on a clinic, man. Um, y'all pay that man. But it's too late now. It's too late now. Lamar already said he's not doing no contract talks during the course of the year. It will take place after. So we're just gonna watch him play ball, enjoy it, because no matter if you think he's the best passer or if you think he's, you know, average or he sucks, what you cannot deny is the way that he puts up his production and the amount of points you put up. And let's say this is Lamar's peak, and like you're ready to assume, well, he's gonna get hurt, he's gonna do this and that. I don't pray for injuries on nobody. I don't ask for injuries on nobody. But even if that is Lamar's final outcome, wouldn't you learn from the quarterbacks we've had who've been electric like him before to just embrace them in the time while we got them, because they don't come around very often? We don't get Vicks very often. We don't get Cam Newtons very often. We don't get these athletic, mobile quarterbacks who can do things that just make grown men who do this for a living look dumb. Like, we don't get that ability, y'all. There's probably not a lot of Lamar coming out for a long time, y'all. That's kind of how the game goes. So take a breath, get out yourself, and just watch the man and enjoy it. It's very tough for me to see people look at Lamar and be like, I'm just gonna hate on him, bro. That's out of pocket. Like, that is 100% out of pocket. Bengals Jets. The Jets need Zach Wilson on the field because the Jets are losing. They're showing a lot of potential though. You see the players that they drafted and developed having flashes, but you need to see if the quarterback that you put capital into, like, are you going to still be losing the same? Is he going to give you hope? Does he make this roster better? Does he make this team better, or does he make them worse? Because this is a very, very talented young roster, and they have some pieces in place. I believe they have the coach in place, the GM in place, and Joe Flacco is doing all that he can. But it's not like this team wasn't here to contend this year. This team wasn't here to make the playoffs this year. There's just two other teams that were clearly better than them in their division. But you want to see if Zach Wilson can compete with Josh Allen and Tua and go against Megamind, who has his way with them. So I think that's what Jets fans deserve to see. Is Zach Wilson that guy? I made my stamp he isn't, but it doesn't mean that another person should be robbed from not seeing that for themselves. You should be like when you're so invested in somebody, you should be able to be like, at least we knew he sucked, and I gave him my love and support. Hey, and then just move on to the next. It happens to the best of us. Cincinnati Bengals, 1-2, not the start to the season that we know that they wanted to have, coming off of a Super Bowl loss. Everybody was lifting up this team so much, and they are playing now like they played last year. This wasn't a team who was dominant throughout the course of the year. This was a team who got hot at the right time. And even in those games, they wasn't mopping the floor with nobody. Players made the right plays at the right time as a collective. Y'all, Trey Henderson, Logan Wilson, I like those guys. Those are good guys. T. Higgins with that amazing catch, the end zone when I got caught. Like, yo, they like, that is a great team with some great players. Still working some things out. I think consistency wise, getting that O line together. But man, again, it'll be very fearful seeing this team if they can get it together. They got a very, very, very tough end to the season, y'all. So starting 1-2 is not the way to be. But we'll see how it goes. The Oakland, maybe they should be called the Oakland Raiders, right? Maybe they really should be called the Oakland Raiders. They're 0-3 to old fashioned, spinning. Hey, I saw that clip on the Gridiron page or whatever, and they was like, Devontae and Adams was having a little moment. He had the boom box out the window, and Derek Carr woke up, was like, Devontae, who's that outside? And Devontae was like, we can't be losing sleep too. Great line. Great line. The Oakland Raiders. I'm gonna call them Oakland. I'm saying I'm gonna call them Oakland. Your mama named you Clay. I'm gonna call you Clay. That's what I'm gonna do. You the Oakland Raiders. All right. That's what I'm gonna name them. 0-3. There's no way you're 0-3 and get into the playoffs. Uh, so we got to sell that one in, which is bad because I would have a white flag, but I'm gonna use my wife's white boot. We gotta wave that. We gotta wave that. We gotta wave that. I'm pretty sure. Uh, so I want to say Derek Carr won't be here next year, but that's just not the smart thing to do because it's this defense that's most concerning. I think they just need to invest every single ounce of capital they have into buffing up this defense. And I knew in my heart of hearts that Chandler Jones was a reach to match seeing Khalil Mack and all these guys coming into the division. It was them trying to catch up, which you have to do. Like you have to win your division and get your spot. So I understand it, but man, now they're locked into that money and players are underperforming. You gotta hope that some of these guys can step up and start to change the tide. Yeah, but there really truly is no way that this team can start 0-3 and make the playoffs. Like so now it's like God, like it's very difficult to say that because you know like Devontae Adams don't deserve that. That man is a monster, and I hope his name doesn't have to start to get slandered in that. But yeah, I got to wave the flag on Derek Carr. I know next week when we do our power rankings, there's going to be absolutely no way that I can move. Derek Carr is definitely going to move down. He's definitely going to move down. The Tennessee Titans pull one out, get their first win of the season. I question myself on them because I do think the way that Jacksonville has come out, and I still think that the Colts are a better team. That as early as it is to say that this next week's game with the Colts is going to be so important to who can start because one of these teams needs to get. Technically, the Colts is at 500. The Titans are trying to get there. One of these teams is going to have to take a leap because if the Jags go out and pull out a dub, which they're playing the Eagles, I don't think that's going to happen. Things could get nasty. Things could get nasty. So, Philadelphia Eagles, Washington Commanders, absolute dominance from that front. That front is nasty. Yeah, build the trenches, y'all. I know it's not sexy, but build the trenches because when the trenches and your line is right, you get to do a lot of stuff that a lot of people can't do, man. But I did pass this up, so let me get it right. I apologize. Let me get it right. Chasing the car. I jumped a little early. Last week we did chase the bone. God, I can't think. We was trying to find the bone, chasing the bone, trying to see when each winless team would get their win. The Raiders are the last. Houston Texans tied though. The Raiders are the only defeated team in the NFL. So we'll look at their schedule here and we'll see when the Raiders could potentially get their next win. They play week 4 at home next week against the Denver Broncos. I'm giving that to the Broncos. They play week 5 at Kansas City. I'm giving that to Kansas City. So they'll be going into week 6, which will be a bye week. And then they come out of the bye week with the Texans. 1-6. Let's go, Raiders. You'll get your dub out of the bye week once you guys get some time to take a break. You got the Texans, you got the Saints, and you got the Jags, and you got the Colts. It's a 4-game stretch that you could potentially go 2-2 in. So yeah, after that, it's kind of depressing. Seattle, Pittsburgh, New England, very, very, very depressing. Yeah, Raiders is about to go 0-4 into the bye week. Well, I actually had them winning Denver on the road with Denver at home. I had everybody in the division splitting, winning their home games. But the way that they're playing right now, I don't think that's the case. That defense is gonna. If there's a game for Denver to break out, I think that'll be the game offensively for them to kind of have their way because that defense is. Ooh, yeah. All right. 0-4 to the bye week, baby. Driving a car. Jesus, take the wheel of the Oakland Raiders. Your mama named you Clay. I'm gonna call you Clay. You feel me? That's what we're gonna go for. Oh man. No. You all good, Prime. You all good. What up, bro? You all good. We in here. I'm trying to catch up. We going through the week review, man. All right. So let me get to the next When will the Raiders get their first win? They are going, like I said, they're going to go 0 for 6 through the bye week, and then they'll win against Houston out of the bye week because you get a bye week. So you got 2 weeks to plan for the Houston Texans. You feel me? All right. This definitely has to be the upset of the week. I'm like, Moonwalk hasn't texted me. He only likes to text me when bad things happen. The Jacksonville Jaguars beat the Los Angeles Chargers. I almost called them San Diego. Your mama named you Clay. I'm gonna call you Clay. All right. This is T-Law's country. Telling people stop sleeping on Trevor Lawrence, bro. Everybody's starting to sleep on Trevor Lawrence, bro. You gotta stop sleeping on Trevor Lawrence, bro. I understand, but last year he had Urban Meyer. That team was nowhere near ready. Doug Peterson is like that. The man got one of them. Trevor Lawrence is talented. He is a special like talent. I told Soy, but Soy's hey, I don't blame him. The TTE homies, they like not all of them, but some of them they Oregon Duck fans, so they love Herbert. And when I said, "Yo, Trevor Lawrence is gonna be treated like Herbert," they were like, "You just be saying stupid stuff. Cam should have dived on the ball." I mean, like, it's not even about that. It's not even about that. And guess what? T-Law's country, baby. I love Justin Herbert though. Like they did convince me of Justin Herbert, and I see everything that they are talking about with Justin Herbert. All right, Justin Herbert is that dude. Do not get me wrong, but I told them at the end of this year we are going to treat Trevor Lawrence just like we treated Justin Herbert going into this year. He's going to enter the top 10 quarterback conversation. Okay, and that's all they did. That's all they did. So I get to take my little whoop, whoop victory lap on this one. Jacksonville Jaguars, man, called it worst to first. I didn't put no bread on it though. You got to kind of believe it if you want to believe it. But I said it. Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence, that tandem together, man, they gonna be nasty. And in that division, can help them out. Very impressive, man. One thing you never, ever, ever want to see is players get injured. Last year, first round draft pick for the Chargers was Sean Slater. Suffered an injury. He will be out for the year. Y'all know how important it is to lose a left tackle. So we will see how the Chargers go forward without their all-pro. He was all-pro as a rookie, like Pro Bowler, all-pro first team, whatever you want to call it as a rookie. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. You were on that level, and that's Trent Williams level. You feel me? Do your thing, man. Big ups to you. I don't expect this to be a warning sign for the Chargers. I think this was just they were hurt. Herbert was hurt. Allen was hurt. Slater got hurt. And Jacksonville just looked good, y'all. Like they just look good, man. Just T-Law's country, baby. I'm so glad he's in Jacksonville because I could be here like I wish he came to Carolina, but then he'd be with Matt Rule, and then he looked like he was with Urban Meyer, and he deserves better than that. He deserves better than that. You feel me? Big ups to Trevor Lawrence getting that dub. Continue to let people know that sometimes you're not a bad quarterback. You're really just in a bad situation. All right. The Rams take care of business against the Arizona Cardinals. I should have put my bread on this game. I knew to put my bread on this game. I didn't put no bread on this game. I got to stop double down myself. If y'all like to put that Beishino on the game, and if it's legal in your area, be responsible, but be wise. I knew to do this. The Rams lose Monday, lose the season opener against Buffalo, winning at halftime with all the mistakes, 10-10, and then they lose because Buffalo has this knockout punch that, they could just make people look bad really quick, and we start to go, well, should we be worried? Should we be scared? Should we start to throw the Rams away? Is a Super Bowl hangover? Is Sean McVay? And no, all they did was they handled the Falcons. The Falcons did their thing and came back, and then they handled Arizona, and they're just going about business. That's what they're doing. They're going about business. That's what happens when you win a Super Bowl. You don't put all your stock into week one. You don't win the Super Bowl in week one. You win it in February. So not tripping about a loss week one. Who do you think's in a better position right now? Buffalo or the Rams? Buffalo, who's getting injured, and the Rams, who's starting to get the wheels turning. Yeah, it's okay to be happy in the moment, but when you start to say these detrimental end-all, be-all things, it can start to kill somebody. like it will not kill somebody, but ease up, pumped up brakes, simmer down now. All right, Arizona Cardinals. We said that the Arizona Cardinals will be very bad this year. Um, and what I meant very bad was like they just weren't going to be good enough to win against good teams. Um, Predicted that they would win less than 5 games. Kyler Murray got paid. It was time for him to have to shoulder the load of being paid. Uh, but man, I'm just gonna continue to beat the drum that I think that this team absolutely has a ceiling with Cliff Kingsbury as the coach. I think that his coaching style may look sexy and cute in some certain areas, but I think that's what's part of this team not going and being any better. Also roster wise, D Hop still being out. Of course, that hurts when you lose a top wide receiver. And the defense, I think, just still has time to get together. I've been like kind of impressed with Isaiah Simmons this year. But after that, man, I mean, Buda Baker, still my dude. I know I love safeties, but I just don't think that there's enough on this defense. And I would love to see Eric Bieniemy go be the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. I really would. So beating that drum, Eric Bieniemy, Kyler Murray, then we could see some stuff happen. You feel me? You feel me? On to the Atlanta Falcons and the Seattle Seahawks. Um, y'all know I hate the Falcons. Uh, so I'm not happy that they won. But I'm happy that Seattle lost because my cousin wants Bryce Young. So yeah, go ahead and get Bryce Young. So he's on pace. You know, he got the week 1 victory that he wanted against Denver. And that's the only win he wanted. So if that's the only win he wants, that's the only win he should have. He's on track for Bryce Young. But Houston knows his plot. They're trying to soil it. They're trying to soil it. I was most sad week 1 for the Seahawks when Jamal Adams went out. Just hated that. So it is kind of, but this year, I want y'all with Seattle watching the wins, losses. Look at their tackles. Look at Kenneth Walker. Look at the young cornerback duo that they got. Nwosu, Jordan Brooks. Like, look at some of the pieces that they got. They got some pieces that going into next year with the new quarterback, you could be like, "Ooh, this team could make some noise," and they really could. All right, the Atlanta Falcons, getting a win. I want Atlanta to win because I don't want Atlanta to get Bryce or CJ. I don't. But they don't draft well anyway. Drake London, Kyle Pitts. So I'm cool on they drafted. So y'all say I ain't really tripping off of them, to be honest with you. I don't like those guys. You know what I'm saying? I don't like those guys. So, but Drake London, he's kind of showing me that maybe they made a pick that I'm going to hate and not love. Kyle Pitts. Told y'all Kyle Pitts was talented. He's like extremely talented. But good Lord, y'all, we can't throw the man in the top 3 that fast. Give him some time. But, boy, I will tell you this. DJ Moore and the Carolina offense, when I look at us in a couple weeks here, we're going to have 2 matchups back-to-back against the Falcons. And to know that AJ Terrell is on that other side and this stuff, it's almost like I'm trying to prepare myself for the thought of the mistakes that Baker could make, that I've seen him make, that AJ would probably feast on. So when you got a cornerback that's good in the division, I become a hater. I hate Marshawn Lattimore. I hate AJ Terrell. I hate Winfield, like the DBs. So like, yeah. Big ups to the Atlanta Falcons though, for getting a win. 1 win in this. Again, I don't like how y'all. I actually love how y'all drafted. So I really don't care where y'all draft anymore. So we'll see how that goes for y'all next week when you play the Cleveland Browns. All right. The old heads, Green Bay Packers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This game total score was almost half the age of the oldest quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers both is like they old, bro. They old now, man. Man, when I tell you the missing of Mike Evans in this game mattered, it mattered. When I tell you the one thing that people should be impressed about is Vita Vea, a defensive tackle, sinking in the coverage on the goal line. Aaron Jones catches it. I'm about to get you. Kirkpatrick smacks him, fumbles on the goal line. That's wild, bro. Vita Vea, big ups to you, dog. Big ups to you, man. What a beast, bro. What a beast. This Tampa Bay defense has allowed, what was it? Week one against Dak and the Cowboys, like 9 points, 10. Against the Saints, 10. Against the Packers, 14. So I think if this offense could get clicking like it usually does at some point in the year and start to put up points, we could see this defense tighten up even more because now teams will feel that pressure and probably get out of themselves. So Tampa Bay has Kansas City coming into town. Green Bay will be playing the Patriots next week. The Maximonius Jones list Patriots. Tampa Bay Buccaneers again got KC coming, but there's inclement weather. There's a hurricane on the way down in Florida, so we really don't know what that game could look like. It'd be best just to move it. Like, I don't understand if you know that there's a hurricane on the way, something that's a safety protocol, that you would be like, hey, can we just play the game at y'all house and that's it? Nah, they gonna see it through. Um, what hurricane, right? We ain't care about COVID and life diseases. We don't care about a hurricane. See what I'm saying? If we see like a 2x4 go across the field and catch somebody and give them a concussion, it's the NFL though, right? Oh man. Coach with the covers, you guys be making me lose. If you just, hey, coach with the cover, hey, you see that, tease up, tease up. All right, and to the ugliest, most disappointing Sunday night football game that history has probably given us in a while. The 49ers versus the Broncos. Um, Greg, I'm gonna listen to you, man. I'm gonna listen to you. Y'all, there's a conversation that needs to be had about the San Francisco 49ers and the Denver Broncos. All offseason, people catapulted the Denver Broncos and Les Rod and Nathaniel Hackett into AFC West dominance. No track record of Nathaniel Hackett as a head coach, and he's barely beaten the 49ers by 1 point. Took an L to the Seahawks early, and there's these signs that this guy just may not be capable. Now, I did see something where they hired a source to come in and to help him manage. Hey, that's how you got to do it. Hey, man, I'm not good at this. I need help with this. Cool. Let me find some mentorship to help me out. On the other hand, you get the San Francisco 49ers, who last week, Trey Lance got injured. We don't ask for injuries on nobody. The San Francisco 49ers with Jimmy Garoppolo. He steps out the back of an end zone and throws a pick six at the same time, but thank God for the safety, right? All offseason, the thought for the 49ers was if Trey Lance played at Jimmy G's level, well, we know this is a divisional round team. I'm starting to think that this team just isn't a divisional round team, period. Yes, they had years of dominance where they were, last year even making the conference championship game. Um, but I also am the person who thinks like if you would have played that Packers game another 10 more times, the Packers would have won the other 9 times. So I think it was the one time out of the 10 that they would have won, and they did. People tried to catapult the 49ers to winning this division. I don't think that's the case. It is very clear cut that the Rams will still win the NFC West. The Broncos being 2-1 and the Chargers being 1-2. We said that the Chiefs and Chargers would come out, and the Broncos or Raiders, no longer the Raiders, will be the third team out. Y'all, we have a glorified view. We have a glorified view of the Russell Wilson, right? All off season, people will well, Russell. Yeah, Carr still sucks, bro. Hey, I ain't got a white flag, but I told you I'm gonna wave my wife's white boot. I'm good on Derek Carr. I'm good on Derek Carr. So all off season, we were trying to catapult Russell Wilson into a top 5 quarterback. And don't get me wrong, I did believe in that. Like the year before when he like let Russ cook, I was like, yo, Russ is really top 5 quarterback level. But every area in which he succeeded, Russ was not the best player. And when Russ was the best player, the team didn't have no success. Russell Wilson's success as the best player on the Seahawks is the same success that Derek Carr had. First round exits in the playoffs. So now I'm having a come to Jesus moment with Derek Carr. I'm having a realization, well, not me, but a realization moment for a lot of people that Russell Wilson didn't lead the Seahawks. He did his job, and that was it. So now we're going to have to, I really, really believe that Denver is more talented because they have a good defense. Like they do have a defense. This offense does have pieces. Like they put things together. But when you get into them crunch time moments that I know you're gonna get to against an Andy Reid or Brandon Staley or Cincinnati, who've shown that they could get out of these situations, a Baltimore, a Buffalo, and you can't, it definitely lightens the load of how we're supposed to look at you. So this is a very underwhelming beginning of the year for the Broncos. This was supposed to be one of those blowout victory, tight, close victory, which with at least like 30 points, so that people could ride the hype train. We're not on that no more. We're not on that no more. All right. So, are you in? Are you riding with the Broncos? Let's ride. Or are you getting the hell off the bus? Feel me? 49ers. Y'all might need to have a coming to Jesus moment with Kyle Shanahan. All right. And the saddest loss of the weekend to me was the Giants losing to the Cowboys. I really wanted the Giants to go 3-0. I like Brian Daboll. I mess with him. I see people love him. They said he's the best big dude in New York since Biggie. I was rolling when I seen that, bro. I very, very discouraged by, well, not discouraged. I was just wanting to pull it out. But man, the Giants in this moment, I felt like had two things that held them back: paying Kenny Galladay and the drafting of Daniel Jones. Like, I didn't like Daniel Jones getting picked up at that point anyway. Oh, from Duke, bro. Like, this is not the wrong sport. But I do like Daniel Jones, bro. But again, like Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, put them all in the same area, bro. That's who they is. Dallas Cowboys, man. The smartest thing you could have ever done, just let Micah go forward towards the quarterback. Let everybody else figure the rest of it out. Michael Parsons is probably going to end this year, if Dallas can creep their way into the playoffs, with a DPOY. And I really think that he could leave the league this year with a defensive player of the year at the level that I see him playing, man. You just like, yo, this dude is a monster coming off the edge, bro. It's ridiculous what Michael Parsons does, bro. It really is. So I made the statement last year. They called me crazy. So, DPO, it was DPOY. He can be done after week 8. But as long as they can get that second seed, the 7th seed, and get into the playoffs, it'll justify DPOY. 18 sacks this week versus Washington. Hey, bro. Look, 18 sacks this week. That's how he gets his DPOY. He's gonna break 22. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, hey, bro, y'all are hilarious. Dallas, ask y'all a question: to Dak or not to Dak? Russ just needs time and a better head coach. You're right, bro. It's year one. It really is. It's year one. It's 3 weeks into these two guys being together. But there was no combination of player coach outside of Buffalo and Green Bay and Tampa that was gonna come in here and think your first time together you was gonna compete in the same division with Mahomes and Andy. Like It's just not gonna happen. So not, and it's not to say that next year they won't look way, way, way better or could potentially look way better. But yeah, man, that elevation they got was crazy, man. Padres tonight, huge. Did I do something on the Padres? I don't think I did nothing on the Padres, man. I'm hurt. I'm hurt, man. Damn. Hey, Padres lost money last week off an eighth inning grand slam to the Yankees. And no out eighth inning grand slam to the Yankees. Yikes. Yikes. All right. Oh, we'll get to that segment too. I'm not gonna lie. I hope I could drag this on long enough so he can join that segment. But he is busy. He is busy. So y'all, if y'all could do a couple hand clap emojis in the chat for Soy or some roses, or like if you want to send him a nude, do that on your own time, but not here. We appreciate everything the Big Oos does for us. He's always he's the IT guy of TTE when we need to do something. He does it. I could like this. If he wasn't here, I would just have to go up and be like, we're not available tonight. But because he's so smart and he's so like willing with his time, he does this so we can come up here and do this. So y'all, claps, flowers to soy sauce, to Soy A. Smith for always making sure to be there for us and to hook this up, man. Because really, without him, we wouldn't be doing none of this. All right. So he's busy tonight with fam, having to handle responsibilities. So he will be here. We will be doing NBA season is coming up. You know, big NBA fans, so NBA season's coming up. We'll be reacting to the ESPN 100 list here. NBA training camps media day did start today, so if he can make it on, we'll probably give some thoughts going into that. But again, we're not going to rush him. We'll end with some NBA talks and all of that. But that is the slate for week 3. That is the slate for week 3, y'all. The recap, the review. Let's get into week 4 of the NFL season, man. And let's start to talk about it, y'all. Thursday night football. Thursday night football. Cousin Tua against Joe Shiesty. Who do y'all got in this Thursday night matchup? The Dolphins or the Cincinnati Bengals? Who do you guys have in this matchup? I'm personally gonna go with the Dolphins this week, and it's not just because of the 4-0. Like I want them to be 4-0, but I do think on a short week, I do think the Dolphins fighting through the adversity that they have. I do think they're really kind of riding a wave right now, so I'm gonna lean into that a little bit. But we will see what happens with Tua after this week with the concussion investigation. I don't think a punishment is gonna go to him. I think the fine will have to be towards the ownership and stuff, and maybe to kind of make ends meet, they probably sit him a week just to be like, okay, yeah, we made a mistake. But one thing I'm going to be looking for in this game with the Dolphins and the Bengals is can the Bengals protect themselves? Can they run the football? How effectively will they be able to run the football? Um, I've seen some people kind of take a little bit of advantage of Xavier Howard this year. I've seen some big plays kind of done his way. So I wouldn't be shocked if Jamar Chase seemed to have a good game, but Tyler Boyd and Higgins seem to be doing, well enough on their own with that. Right. Quarter of the season almost over. I hate how long it takes for the NFL to start, and I hate how fast that it goes by because we're already in the week 4. So after this week, next week, we will be doing TTE power rankings where we're going to rank all of the teams in tiers, contenders, pretenders, all that good jazz. We'll give you a team power rankings. We'll be redoing the quarterback power rankings. And then on some separate videos, we'll do some position rankings, war projections, predictions, and and all of that good jazz. All right. So we got Bengals. Greg's got Bengals. Malesi's got Bengals. I got the Dolphins. But again, I do think this is a pick 'em. I'm just gonna lean into. I've seen the Dolphins be a little more complete this year than the Bengals, and especially on a short week. Ooh, we'll see how that goes. All right, y'all. Oh, Oosh, you here? Is you here or is you not? Is you okay? Is you here or is you not? I think he's here. Ah! All right. All right. All good. Everybody, if you're here, y'all for soybean here. Y'all. Let's go. You see how the screen's moving and doing all that stuff? I can't do that. I can't do that stuff. All right, y'all. Oh, over 3-0. He said, all right, yeah. All right, all right. So we in the building. Oh, y'all. So F them Eagles. Greg came with this. Hey, Greg, it's okay, man. I give him worse words when we lost last year. Yeah, when Panthers lost to the Eagles last year. Oh yeah, chat was that
Come
was
on,
bad.
man. Go Eagles!
Yeah,
Fly,
yeah,
Eagles,
best.
fly.
He said, "In your life." In your life. Let's get it. Let's get it. He's getting. He's saying. All right, we in here. We got through the week 3 review. Now we're going into the week 4 projections, y'all. So I got the Dolphins. Greg and Melissa said they got the Bengals. Who do you got in the Thursday night matchup, Boost? You got the
I got the
Dolphins. You ride it with
Dolphins.
cousin
I'm
Tua.
riding with cousin Tua, man.
Cousin Tua.
I'm
Is there
riding with
anything
cousin
you're going to
Tua.
be watching in this game?
So Joe Burrow has been, to me, careless these last couple of weeks. He's been careless with the football to start the game. It's like the first 2 quarters, he likes to get a little loose with the ball. What up, dog? He likes to get a little loose with the ball, man. He's a little careless with it. So to me, I'm gonna be watching how his ball security looks.
All right. What's the over and under on that game?
Oh, shit, I can look right now.
47 on Bovada. On Bovada, the over and under is 47.
Yeah, it's 40. It's 47 too.
47.
Yep. Cincinnati's favored by 4.
4?
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't doing 4. I mean, I got Miami winning outright, but 4? Oh, Cincy favored. That's what he meant. Cincy favored by 4.
Yeah.
My bad, Greg. I kind of missed. I was trying to figure out Cincy favored by 4. Okay. Well, I got Miami outright. I know you said you got Miami. We got 2 Bengals in there. See how that goes. I like Thursday Night Football being on Amazon Prime.
Me too.
It's just the old people complaining about it. I remember in my day we had satellite TV and when it rained we couldn't watch the games.
Jeff Bezos,
right, bro.
you get a dub from me,
now.
dog. You get a big dub from me. Thank you.
Times are better now. You know what I'm saying? Times are better. We don't have to go through those struggles no more.
Let me put this up on the screen so we can see the next matchups.
Right.
Got the Vikings and the Saints.
That's
a London game. There is no home team.
I'm not related to 17th cousin to. Yeah, this is the first London game of the year. So we get to watch football all day long. And this is my send the mortgage bet. Vikings covered.
Oh yeah.
Vikings covered. Yeah, Vikings covered.
2.5? Easy.
Yeah, Vikings cover that. So if y'all got $5, y'all want to put on the Vikings 2.5, you know what I'm saying? 2.5, 3. I definitely play that. I definitely run that. All right. We'll definitely run that. You notice how people are kind of slowly pulling back on the Vikings week 1 hype train dub that they got on the Bengals. Like, oh man, maybe they might not be this super. Maybe it might not be this mega team that we were trying to project it to be. Still 2-1, literally squeaked out one against the Lions last week. So that's wild. How much longer you think Jameis stays around?
I think they got him for the season. I think he's there for the season. Because I mean, what's the alternative?
Jordan Love.
You think that's their alternative? Like making a trade?
I feel like if I was a team who wanted to take a shot on somebody, I feel like why wouldn't you just take one on him?
Yeah. I think Jameis is there at least until the end of the season.
I think he is too. I do. I do still think he's around to the end of the year. I don't think they can really afford to make a move for anybody. They're just gonna have to run it with Jameis.
Yeah.
So
Cooper Rush is playing himself into considerations for QB2?
Nah, yeah. Cooper Rush is the new Chase Daniels.
Yeah.
Cooper Rush is gonna be the new Chase Daniels. I'll tell you that. So I got the Vikings. You got the Vikings. Who y'all got in this matchup? Vikings versus Saints. I think they cover, and they
Rush
cover
blows.
pretty easily. Rush blows.
He's a serviceable quarterback. I think he's a
Yeah,
serviceable
he's just a
quarterback.
backup dude. He gets 2 games. So I had an argument with the homie this morning. He said, "Play Cooper Rush. He's better than that." Did you out your rabbit mind, bro? I said, "You were out of your mind." He said he played 2 games. He won 2 games. I said, exactly. That's all he's supposed to do. He can't do 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 games. He's
Yeah.
a backup, bro.
This is Matt
He's supposed
Castle
to
when
play.
Tom Brady got hurt.
Yeah.
Not saying Dak is Tom Brady by any means.
Yeah. So he's got the Saints in this.
He's not better than Dak.
He's got the
Nah,
Saints.
not at all.
The defense. Ah, man. And I don't like to give the Saints defense props. But DeMario Davis is a monster. I wasn't too impressed with their pass rush last week. They got good DBs. Adebo, Lattimore. I think they're lacking in the safety areas. I'm not used to seeing them feel like they've been pretty strong for safeties. We said it before. The best days of Honey Badger are behind them.
Oh yeah.
And it's slowly starting to show. But that's okay. That's okay because he's still a great talent, great guy. We'll take that. Next on the docket, Cleveland Browns, Atlanta Falcons.
It's like Cleveland's favored 1.5.
Cleveland's favored 1.5. I hope Prime is in
1.5.
here because I'm going to be half as rich as Prime when I play that Cleveland line. That's what I'm going to be able to. I don't know. Prime has a lot of money, so I'm not going to be able to do that. But I'm going to start to work my way by betting against the Falcons to soil it and the Browns to cover. So that's what I got.
I think
I'm going to make some money.
I'm going to go with the Browns too. Atlanta's rushing defense ain't all that great.
Yeah. What I will be watching in this game though is I actually want to see if AJ is gonna follow Amari. I assume that AJ should follow Amari. Amari be getting off, man. He's smooth. He's smooth. You always known he's smooth.
His cousin Marcus. Podux.
Falcons by 10. Prime says Falcons by 10. First cousin Marcus. Man, look, Nick Chubb. I seen a stat that said Nick Chubb has more broken tackles than every entire team combined, like on his own. And at that point, you could say, well, you can't stop the run game. Well, obviously, nobody can. So, you know what I'm saying? So, oh well. If he's going to do that to everybody, at least it's equal opportunity for everybody.
Rushing yards allowed per game right now. Atlanta's 109 per game in the first 3 games. So they've allowed 109 on average.
Yeah. But hey, look, you said your boy Drake. I made it known I don't like Drake London. I thought he shouldn't have been the first wide receiver off the board. So yeah, I definitely thought that every receiver that went after him, except Treylon Burks, should have went before him. I mean Jahan Dotson, but I still like Jahan Dotson more. So yeah, I ain't like Drake. I was happy that the Falcons took Drake London. I don't think he's gonna. I think he's just gonna be with another one of them dudes. So
I'm be honest with you. I like Drake London. He's starting
to show up, but he's not like I'm gonna save my reservations for when we play them back to back, pretty much. But again, I don't, you know me. Again, I made my stamp early. I did not think Drake London, no matter where he went, should have been the first receiver off the board. This for
USC receivers, y'all. That's where this comes from. This man does not believe in USC receivers. Just for context.
He said another USC product. See, Molessy's with me. But I made my stamp. I thought Garrett Wilson was number 1 and number 1 clear. So I didn't like the Drake London arguments there. And I thought Olave was better than London. So, and then I still would have took Jamison Williamson before I took London too. So, again, there's part of me that I do have a hate that he went 1 because it makes my analysts look dumb. So it's just a prideful part of me. And he went to the Falcons. So you know how that goes. So,
next matchup of the morning, we got the Commanders versus the Cowboys. Commanders versus the Cowboys. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys, dog. I ain't gonna play it out. I ain't gonna draw it out. The Cowboys, they're gonna take what the Eagles did last week, put pressure in Wentz's face. He was sacked like 9 times that game, like 6 times in the first half. I think the Cowboys about to do that. Parsons about to have a field day.
I got Commanders. They get a bounce. They get a bounce back. They get a bounce back against the Cowboys. The Cowboys still struggled against the Giants, even getting all of that pressure together. Again, I think Cooper Rush is cool for that one game, that other one, but I think I still think like now that it's going to be potentially week 3 in a row of him starting, now teams will start to kind of get after him. So yeah, I'm gonna ride with Commanders this week. And when is Chase Young coming back, man?
I think like week 6 or 8.
Yeah, I said I had my DPOY on this guy, and I can't use it.
Yeah.
I messed up my defensive player of the year on Chase Young because he's still out.
Terry McLaurin been kind of quiet for me.
But Jahan Dotson's stepping up, and Curtis Samuel is stepping up. Yeah, and Curtis Samuel is doing what I know Curtis Samuel can do. So he's got a good supporting cast, man. He's got a good supporting cast, and it's one of those things too. I think I seen Carson throw some balls to like Dotson that I felt like if Dotson wasn't on the roster, it would have been McLaurin. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like it was a send it moment. I don't think it has nothing to do with him and who he is. But I said, man, Dotson, McLaurin, Samuel, that's a good 3 core, man. That's a good 3. So we'll see how get it out quick. Get Scary Terry on some early stuff in screen games. Just get him active. Let's get him active. Did we do Bills Ravens?
We didn't. Not yet. Ravens. I think it's coming up.
Okay. Oh yeah, my bad.
It's coming up.
I missed it. I'm looking at a different type of schedule here.
So we got the Seahawks and the Lions as the next one.
Whew.
Detroit is favored by 4.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna go by Detroit, and I'm gonna go by Detroit to cover. Seahawks all in on Bryce. Enough all said. Seahawks all in on Bryce.
Yeah, I think so. Lions, I really like the Lions, man. I don't know what it is about the Lions, but keep in mind, Lions might not have DeAndre Swift for the next 2 weeks. Coach said that he'd probably benefit for taking the next 2 weeks off going into their bye week. So they might not have DeAndre Swift. It's going to be a workload for Jamal Williams, who I think is capable of it.
Which is one of the things we said about DeAndre Swift was the fact that he can't stay on the field.
And that's why we didn't have him as a top, 5 running back?
That's it.
And people got mad at us.
You know, we give
it's all the culture. Something about it has changed.
All big ups to Dan Campbell and what he's did over there. Those guys believe. But it's the very thing we said about DeAndre Swift the whole time. Like, bro, you're just not always on the field.
Yeah.
So, like, when your number... So, right now, he's going to walk off the field, and his numbers are going to be like, 5.5 average. He's going to have a great average. It'd be like, well, what if he plays 17 games? There's no what if. He never does. Like he never does. So these numbers are always going to look this amazing.
Yeah, man. That culture in Detroit, man, with what Dan Campbell's doing, like Melissa said, that D-line, Amon-Ra St. Brown is nasty.
Hey, for me, the jury is still out on him. The jury is still out on him for me. But again, I told you I got stock in Jameson. I think Williams is that dude. So I think when Williams comes on the field, I think he's like clear number 1.
I don't know, man. I got to go with what I see. What I've seen the last 3 weeks, Amon-Ra St. Brown, this man is playing with a chip on his shoulder. He knows every receiver taking in front of him.
Yeah.
This fool said after week 2's game, when they got their first win, this fool looked across the field and said, "Where's that receiver that was taken before me? He ain't even playing. He ain't even on special teams. Where's this man at?"
Yeah, Diami. Yeah, Diami Brown. I know what he's talking about. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I know he's there, but I think, again, I just think Williams is going to be the 1. But it's cool because if Amon-Ra stays at this level and Williams is the 1, it's a hell of a team. They're one of the top 2 scoring offenses in the league. You know what I'm saying? So that's extremely impressive. Like that is very, very impressive. What they're doing over there in Detroit. It really is.
Cool. Next game on the docket, we got the Titans and the Colts. The battle of the underwhelming.
No. This is the battle of second place in the AFC South. This is Trevor's country now. This is what it is. This is T-Law country. I got Colts. I got Colts winning. I
Yeah,
got Colts
Indy's
winning
favored
this
by
game.
3.
Yeah, I got Colts winning. I just think Colts are better. Like I really do. I really do. I just think Colts are better. I mean, and the one thing about them is that they haven't been bad defensively. So offensively, they just haven't, got it together. Uh,
Yeah,
so
they're still
I
trying
got
to
the
figure it
Colts.
out. I'm gonna go with the Colts
Yeah, I got
too.
the Colts.
I think the biggest thing I'm looking at with the Colts is, can y'all establish some sort of balance between run and pass? Because when you got Matt Ryan throwing the ball 40 plus times in 3 straight weeks, that just ain't a recipe for success, man.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Facts, Greg.
They don't have receivers that could get open on their own. Everything is scheme based on route trees and things like that.
Yeah.
Everything's based on play action. Can we get Jonathan Taylor going? So hopefully they figure it out this week, and I think they'll be able to do that against the Titans.
Told you I was on the early train. We all said that the Titans were going to be buns this year, so we could see Malik Willis. So I'm hoping that maybe sooner than later we can actually see him for like 8 games this year, where they kind of be like, let's see how he does. Tannehill is done. Get him out of here.
He is buns.
All right. Yeah, let's get that guy out of here.
All right, battle of the 2-1s. We got the Bears and the Giants, with the Giants favored by a field goal.
This is that. I want you to listen to what you just said.
Justin Vita Fields for the win.
Battle of the 2-1s.
Never thought I'd say that. Hey, especially after our preseason.
Hey, look at us. Look at us. Who would have thought? Like look at us be 2-1. Both of these teams have already won half the games that people projected them to win. Like, man. Bale, you like that.
Man. Henry is scary.
I got the Bears winning. I do have the Bears winning this game. People really sleep on what the Bears have defensively. The offense is absolutely horrible, though. But defensively, Robert Quinn, Roquan Smith, Brisker, Kyler Gordon, like these are some really, really good pieces, man. You already know, hey, it's Bears through and through. Justin Fields, man, he's supposed to be a Panther. I'm glad he's not. Yeah, Justin Fields, man. Yeah, I got the Bears. I still think it's gonna be an ugly, ugly game, though. But I got the Bears.
For the sake of my division, I'm gonna go with the Bears. Just because the Giants are in my division, and it's the Giants, so I'm going with the Bears.
Yeah. All right.
My game of the week, me and Molesta's game of the week. Fly Eagles fly. Ooh. Jaguars versus the Eagles. We at home in Philly. We're favored by 6.5.
Favored by 6.5. I got the Eagles. I told you last week that I thought that the Chargers defense was going to give Trevor fits. Was not the case. Was not the case at all. Hassan Reddick, Jordan Davis, Hargraves, like, oh my God, like Jags tapping that tail, Jags by 35. Oh man, I got the Eagles winning. But what could you imagine? Trevor Lawrence continuing my narrative of top 5 quarterback against the Eagles.
Nope.
That'll be wild, bro.
Nope. My heart don't want it. My heart don't want it, but my head is telling me, if we see what the Eagles did last week in the second half, when we did absolutely nothing, when all we did was run the ball for 4 first downs and then punt it, we're going to lose. So to me, in order for the Eagles to win this game, y'all need to not just come out in the first half and dominate, but do it in the second half, man. Like, we can't score. We ain't been scoring no points come fourth quarter. It just looks real ugly. And I don't know if that's just a pace thing. I don't know if that's trying to get everybody in their rhythm. Week 1 was obviously A.J. Brown. Let's get this man introduced to Philly. Week 2 was Devontae, bro, I see you. Yeah. Week 3, same thing. Devontae went off. Week 4, man, I hope we get some consistency. We go score the rock, because we left, I want to say 21, 28 points on the board against the Commanders. So
I'm gonna be I'm like extremely shocked at the Jags defense. So I would love to see, but the Eagles with their O-line and what they can do with the weapons on the outside, I'll be very interested to see how this defense moves. Devin Lloyd seemed to be making some plays last week.
Mhm.
We'll see how Trayvon Walker, his athleticism might be one of the reasons he was kind of picked for a game like this when you know you got to contain Jalen Hurts. We'll see how that goes, but I'm very interested to see how because man, Trevor Lawrence and these receivers is starting to look like they're like starting to kind of get it together, and I'm like every week it really does look better every week for this offense as a whole for the Jags,
Mhm.
and the Eagles have a great defense deep, so I want to see how this team, Dougie P coming back to Philly, can look offensively against this defense, and let's see if they can
I
start to
hope
cause some
not.
problems.
Scores 0 second half points in 2 straight games. Yeah, man. I hopefully this trend don't continue. I think the running backs need to eat a little bit more. I think the running backs need to eat a little bit more game 4. But going with the Eagles. Next game we got for the morning is the Jets and the Steelers, with the Steelers favored by 3.5 at home.
I got the Steelers. I just think that the Jags they slipped. They got that dub against the Browns, but again in that situation, Gregory kicking it. Hey, that's the ooze. He's here, honorary baby. Um, he, the Steelers win this game because I think the Jets are still trying to. They're not trying to figure out. You can't figure out until Zach is on the field. And I think Joe Flacco is kind of tapped with about as much as he can give this team.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the Steelers winning. I think it's going to be a controlled game on the ground from Pittsburgh.
I'm gonna go with the Steelers. Shout out to those Jalen Warren, RB2, undrafted.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Steelers, man. Hopefully, Mike T comes in second half of this game. Is just, you look, Mitch. We done seen enough of you. We've seen enough, dog. Let's get Kenny Pickett in there. We ain't got a lot to play for this year. So come on, man. Get Kenny Pickett in there. Hometown dude. Let him rock.
I think this is the perfect game to give him the start.
You got to.
Like, I think this is the perfect game to give Kenny the start. But it's also the fact that too, once Kenny gets the start, you really can't go back to Mitch.
Yeah. At all.
But I think, like I said, I think Steelers fans just want to see if they got a franchise guy in Kenny. That's it.
Yeah.
I think if Kenny could get out there and either absolutely suck so that they know, yo, the answer is not on this roster, or if he's good and they be like, yo, we could work with this.
Yeah.
So I told you, I think a part of me now kind of wants them to lose so that Kenny could get in the game and we could figure this out. Like, there's a part of me does, but we'll see. I got Steelers.
Shout out George Pickens, man. He been having a year. Chase Claypool came into the year talking about, I'm a top 5 best wide receiver. You not even the best wide receiver on your team.
We said, yo, you WR3 on your roster.
Best on your roster. You the third best on your team.
Third on your roster, bro.
And even that's questionable. I might put Pat Freiermuth in front of you.
Yeah, he's fourth option, third receiver. You see, they got him doing receiver reverses and stuff now.
Yeah.
Like stuff people like, come on, bro.
It's like, let's get this dude involved because, yeah. Next game we got is the Bills and the Ravens. This is the TTE game of the week. The Bills and the Ravens.
Trash shoes. Johnson's not trash. Deontay Johnson's not trash, bro. I mean, this is nice, bro.
Yeah, Deontay's nice. I like Deontay.
Mike gonna get mad if he see that. I got the Ravens, baby. Brother Lamar at home. You gonna keep underdogging Lamar? No. Lamar, big game.
Brother Lamar. I don't know.
I got Ravens.
I don't know if the Bills are coming into this week healthy.
He said, Mike, see this.
I know they've added some more injuries going into week 4.
That's the problem.
If they continue to be injured, who said this a couple weeks? Sefa said this last week. The Bills might have peaked too early. Maybe. I hope Josh Allen continues to ball out because I got him on my fantasy team. I need that. But I'm gonna go with the Ravens, man. Lamar's on a mission. Lamar is on a mission.
Yeah, I got Ravens. I actually don't think this is a good matchup for the Bills at all because we talk about that pass rush, but I mean, who pass rushes Lamar Jackson? You know what I'm saying? And then your secondary is depleted. So yeah, like this. Yeah, I got Ravens. You don't pass rush Lamar. You don't get that off, especially when you're depleted in your secondary now. Nah, I got the Ravens.
Yep. Especially if the Buffalo goes in continuing to be hurt.
Yep.
Last game of the morning, we got the Chargers and the Texans. Chargers are favored by 5. It's in Texas. In Houston.
I'm taking the Chargers. Taking the Chargers. Bounce back game. They should start to kind of get healthy here. Be cool. Again, I think Texans competitive. It's just really not enough.
Davis Mills.
Hey, Trevor beat the Jags. Could Davis Mills beat the Jags? No. Yeah, I do think the Texans can cover though. I think they'll. Well, I do want to give a touchdown, but I'm not going to do that because something's got to kind of be up with this Chargers defense a little bit.
Damn, first win. Damian Pierce was playing pretty good last week. I'm gonna go with the Chargers though. I'm gonna go with the Chargers.
Yeah, I got Chargers. I got Chargers.
I think Eckler figured it out this game.
Can you look at the Chargers schedule for the next 5-6 games?
Yes, sir.
Because I was talking to my brother about this, and this is where I said, well, the Chargers wasn't supposed to lose to the Jags. But in this time, we gave them a slip up.
Yeah.
So they lost to the Jags. Now they got Houston, Cleveland, Denver, Seattle, bye week, Atlanta. This is the stretch of games where the Chargers have to put it together and start to cause separation. I think if they want to find a way to win the division, it has to be done over these next 5 games. Houston, Cleveland, Denver, Seattle get you a sweep and come out the bye week and get you a dub. I think this is a stretch where if you want to win your division, this is the 5 games to do it.
Hopefully they figure it out, man. I know Herbert is hurting, just like Greg said on there. Herbert's hurting, but if this man can get into the bye week, use that bye week just to kind of chill out, I think he'll be solid. Shout out to the trainer for not puncturing his lung like he did Tyrod Taylor's. Good job.
Yeah. Yeah, these next 5 weeks is the weeks for them to get it together.
All right, first afternoon game is the Cardinals versus the Panthers. Carolina's favored by 1.5. Yeah, y'all are favored.
Yep. And we're going to blow them out by 3. We're going to beat the spread, baby. We're going to beat the spread. That's what we're going to do. I'm just so fearful of this offense. But the defense, I could trust them on this one.
Yeah, I think your defense figures out a way to create some more turnovers. That's what y'all went into week 3 not having was any turnovers. What happened to Arizona?
No D-Hop. They lost a lot of pieces on defense, and Cliff Kingsbury is still their head coach. They're in for 5 wins this year.
That might who be able to go get Eric Bieniemy is Arizona.
Eric Bieniemy to the Cardinals next year. Calling it. We called it 2 years ago because we thought Cliff would have got fired. But he called Grace.
Cliff is out here finessing just like Matt Rule is.
Yeah. Yep. Them college dudes, man. They get away with everything.
Panthers. Keep pounding. All right, next game. Patriots versus the Packers. Packers are at home favored by 10. You think Aaron Rodgers is figuring it out with this cast of receivers he got? You think he's figuring it out?
No. I don't think he has to though. I don't think he has to. They lost week 1, but they lost week 1 last year. You know what I'm saying? We knew that wasn't the case. Mm-hmm. Minnesota put every ounce of their stock into week 1. You know what I'm saying? They went out. Yeah, they went out there and were like, we got to win this game, for themselves. Green Bay wasn't tripping. The defense plays the way that we said they would. Their running game, I don't. I'll start to critique the passing game after week 8.
Yeah.
When we could really get a sample size of okay, who's really stepping up? I'm not gonna penalize you for a Vita Vea smack at the goal line that could have made this game a little more. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna penalize
coverage,
you,
bro.
Yeah, I'm not gonna penalize you because a generational guy made a generational play at the goal line because this game could have been 21-10.
This
You
man
know what
went
I'm
from nose
saying?
tackle,
Yeah,
dropped 5 to 7 yards,
yeah,
middle of the field, and lit up the receiver across the middle. That's
yeah.
nasty.
And I'm
That's
also not gonna blame the Bucks either because I'm gonna blame the Bucks, but Mike Evans has to know you're already in that receiver. Your presence is needed. We can't
oh yeah.
afford you being lost.
They lost that game
So
as soon as he got suspended.
yeah, as soon as he got suspended, they lost that game. If he's in that game, I get him the dub. I mean, I still picked him because they was at home. I was like, oh, you guys are at home, you should get it. But again, it went about the way that I thought it was gonna go. I think people are trying to over criticize Aaron Rodgers off the back-to-back, MVP seasons and how efficient he was. We'll see when it comes later in the year, man. We'll see. Got Packers. Should have got the Packers at 6.5.
All right, Broncos, Raiders. Raiders are at home. I think the Raiders continue to lose, dog.
Raiders continue to lose.
I heard y'all talking about Derek Carr a little bit because I had my phone playing while I was loading this thing, but yeah.
Waving a white flag on Derek Carr.
Yeah. It ain't gonna be a huge blowout. It ain't even gonna be a huge loss. But I do think the Broncos get the dub. Raiders get the first one.
I got Broncos. I said that defense ain't doing no favors. The Broncos, they need a pick-me-up game. I think this is where they get it done at. God, I like that. I'm throwing in my flag foot on the Derek Carr stuff, man. I sat here and tried to help my guy out all off season. And so yeah, that's a wrap. This is a wrap. I got Broncos.
Oh, Chiefs, Bucks. Bucks are at home. Chiefs are favored by 2.
So I got the Bucks. Mike Evans is back. I said one thing we have talked about with this Tampa Bay defense is they really aren't allowing many points. So I got the Bucks.
I think Chris Godwin might be back too.
Yeah, I got the Bucks.
There were rumors about a trade that the Bucks had that would send them a Pro Bowl receiver. Let me see. Kenny Golladay. Ugh, never mind. Rumors about Kenny Golladay getting traded to them.
Kenny Golladay gonna do over there? Hell no, they got Russell Gage. They all right.
Julio Jones ruled out again. But I'm gonna go with the Bucks. I think the Bucks figure it out. I don't want to put too much stock in the whole Patrick Mahomes, Eric Bieniemy thing after the first half.
No,
I ain't gonna put too much stock in that, man. That's
people do that mess all the time, bro. People are looking for reasons and start to downplay the Chiefs. But again, Tom Brady in Tampa back-to-back games at home. You said the defense isn't allowing up many points.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just the offense that's struggling right now. But the offense struggled the first year they was there too when they won the Super Bowl. So, the defense is still playing solid. Again, so I'm going to go Bucks this week. But we'll see what happens with this game and this hurricane stuff if it gets moved.
Yeah. Forget who the quarterback is in Tampa? Oh, no, not at all. Not at all. Monday night game, the Rams versus the 49ers.
Rams.
Hey, I'm going with the Rams, dog. I'm going with the Rams. Frisco's favored by 2.5. Yeah, I know they're at home. I'm gonna go with the Rams.
Yeah, I got the Rams. I think this is gonna be the game that really starts to put Kyle Shanahan on the hot seat. Yeah. I really, really do.
Yeah, something about his play calling last week is something about just on offense. I love that defense. Don't get me wrong. They even had Talanoa Hufanga as the number 2 rated safety in the league.
Yeah, we called it. He's fired.
Bad, but that offense, it just look. What's the? I don't never use this word, but lethargic.
Let me tell you what it looks like. That offense looks like the guy who was playing quarterback was told he was leaving and not given a playbook. That's what that offense. What that offense. That offense looks like you trying to drum up some stuff that you didn't practice all off season because you completely invested in the one guy. Like that. That's what that offense looks like. That offense looks like you had all your investment into another quarterback, and the guy playing now has to readjust to that. This is not the same offense.
Yeah.
Or not what they was practicing to run.
Speaking tongues over there. It also looks like they're trying to run some of the plays that they did last year that they had success with this year, and timing is off. Debo's off. Ayuk is off. It's all the way around is off. And I don't even know if Kittle's gonna play this week. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see.
Hey, big up to Carr. You just don't want to toe tap on the sideline.
Man, fullback?
Fire. Yeah, fire. Give fullbacks love. They're athletes too.
Some regular starting receivers can't do that.
Yeah, fire. I don't expect this offense to. I expect this defense to remain as good as they are, but I'd expect this offense to put them through hell.
Oh yeah. All right, man. What we got next?
NBA Media Day training camp opened up. I didn't realize on our schedule that would happen today at the same time. So yeah, fine. Close up today with some NBA talks, man. Going into Media Day, all this good jazz, man. Excited for the NBA to be back, man. Excited. You got any thoughts going into the NBA seasons? Maybe some chitter chatter you're hearing. Some things that you just kind of want to address.
Man, not even chitter chatter. We know Sports Center or ESPN always drops the top 100. We're gonna do a segment on that. But have y'all seen Zion Williams drop a whole ass extra person off of his body weight?
Yeah.
He was standing next to CJ McCollum looking like he was the same size as CJ McCollum.
Yep.
I hope because of my card investment, I got a lot of Zion Williamson rookie cards, that he figures it out this year. And hopefully the Pelicans figure it out. Padres up 2-0. Hey, there you go. I seen you put a Padres bet in there earlier. Who cares?
Yeah.
Trade Russell Westbrook, please. Make the trade Miles Turner and Buddy Hield for Russell Westbrook and one draft pick. Please keep one.
Man,
I love you, Russ.
I'm losing out on all. I had the Phillies winning, the Reds lost, the Mets lost the first half.
For a pack of water.
Yeah.
Hey, if somehow you could trade Russell Westbrook for a new Anthony Davis injury contract that we got on my team on 2K, I'd be all for that. Give me a diamond contract for injuries.
Ooh. NBA stuff. Bogdanovic getting traded to the Pistons, making his way over there.
That's a good trade.
That's a good trade. I think it helps the Pistons. I think it helps the Pistons in the immediate to kind of see where they rank at going into the year. Can they be a play-in playoff contending type team by adding some more veteran pieces? We'll see how that goes for them.
Real sad about Lonzo still not being able to run without pain in his knee. Sound like he's going to be another lost year for him.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all signed LiAngelo.
Yep. We signed LiAngelo. I said that's why I was talking to the OG today. We signed LiAngelo to a non-guaranteed. I believe he's absolutely going to make the roster this year because we got to please LaMelo. This whole year is about pleasing LaMelo. After this year, he's going to be a restricted free agent. Clearly, we're going to match in the offer, and he's not going to go anywhere. So that's cool. But if you're going to, invest your future into him, put the brother on the team, people are so in arms about losing Miles Bridges. Okay, cool, whatever. LiAngelo's a bucket. You know what I'm saying? He is not athletically what he is, but Miles can nowhere near shoot the ball the way that LiAngelo can shoot the ball. So I would take the carved out road that I know LiAngelo is going to take with the loss of what Miles is going into next year. Cool. So we picked up Dennis Smith Jr. also, who should be getting some backup point guard role for us. Steve Clifford, today, listen to the interviews. I've never heard this team talk about defense so much over the last couple of years. Every dude is just we're just focused on playing defense. That's all they're trying to do is just focus on playing defense. So if this defense can improve from where it was, bottom of the league to 20-ish, I'm going to feel really, really good. That's what I'm looking for is an improved defense. And hopefully somebody can emerge as an actual lockup. like Cody Martin. He be locking up on the perimeter, but it's not enough.
The Martin twins are nice. Celtics
Yeah.
are going to be without Ime Udoka. We ain't even going to get into details about that, but he's going to be suspended for the year. They're going to be moving on with Mazzulla as the interim head coach for the year.
And I think they said their top assistant coach left there this year and went to Utah also. So
You're playing a rec team in the NBA. Bruh. Funniest thing ever. I don't mean to keep making this about the Lakers, but Dennis Smith Jr. turned down 3 years, $88 million before he left to the Boston Celtics just to come back on a veterans minimum. Come on, dog. Get your money, man.
Yeah. How much does Ime affect Boston? I think a lot.
I think it affects them to an extent because what I think we're still not necessarily still, but I think what we're ignoring is Brad Stevens is still up in the front office. He was just their head coach. I think.
Hey, but Brad made the comment.
Got them there, but
Brad made the comment. They was like, "Are you gonna come down?" Brad was like, "Hell no." Like Brad said, he wasn't dealing with none of that coaching stuff. So I mean, I know he'll have a say so. I do think this is gonna affect them. I think it's gonna affect them being contenders this year.
Mm-hmm.
But good thing that their team is built for a couple years. But they'll still be a top 6 seed. But like, remember, we said it when they started off like 22 and 23 or whatever, 22 and 24. We said this is still a playoff team. They will be a contender. But that took Ime in that picture to me to fix that. You know what I'm saying? To get them right. I don't think that that's sustainable going into next year without him. I think talented roster-wise, I mean, yeah, I do still, you still got Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, two top 25-ish players. Rob Will's going to be out for beginning part of the year.
Yeah, until like November, December.
Yeah, so a lot of this team isn't going to be together until late, which was the same time they got right last year. How much more can we really expect from Al Horford?
I think he starts to tone back his minutes. We're going to see like a 15 to 17 minutes from him.
I think he's tapped. I think Kevin Love going into next year would be more valuable than Al Horford.
Yeah. I mean, they did sign Noah Vonleh, and I think Noah Vonleh is expected to take some of those Al Horford minutes early in the season just to try to, keep him ready for some sort of playoff run. I also think outside of the Boston Celtics, for the Phoenix Suns, I don't think DeAndre Ayton is going to be there next year. I think this year is their year to say, cool, what are we doing? Are we keeping Cam Johnson? Are we keeping Mikal Bridges? Are we keeping DeAndre Ayton? We're already looking for a trade partner for Jay Crowder because of the whole Robert Sarver thing. But I think by next year, they start to figure out, cool, we might need to move this dude, go get some draft picks, maybe even bring in a low budget center, someone like Mo Bamba.
Yeah.
Just somebody like that while they rebuild, because this to me is Chris Paul's window's closed. Yeah, this to me is the key for what we're going to see with Devin Booker. And are you going to be a really good scorer, or are you going to be a really good two-way player? What are you going to do this year?
If like I said, I'm with you. If I'm Phoenix, I'm gonna have to find a way to either let D-Book be the guy and then kind of retool around that. He said, because CP3, I think I think that time is done. They said, I'm with you. I think Ayton still finds his way to get out, and I think finding another piece around. Jay Crowder is gonna be a steal for somebody.
Oh yeah,
like Jay Crowder. Yeah, Jay Crowder is gonna be a steal for somebody. Jordan Clarkson is starting to get in the trade packages. I seen there was a Chicago package that was put up. So I do think there's going to be a lot of moves we probably will see here before the start of the season. So
I think
I'm definitely.
I don't know why, but I feel like Kyrie won't end his season with the Brooklyn Nets. He has a chance to walk away next year because he opted into his player option. And I don't think the Brooklyn Nets, by halfway through the season, they're going to have a good scope of, okay, can we do this with Kyrie, or can we send him somewhere to get some valuable pieces to put around KD and Ben Simmons?
I think If Ben Simmons comes and plays like he has, literally just the same guy with KD, I think that's going to make Kyrie expendable as it is.
Oh yeah.
And I think it just makes it very easy for them to move off of Kyrie and be like, okay, hey, let's go ahead and move off of you. We got Ben Simmons still playing at an All NBA defensive level,
Yeah.
facilitating. We got KD who's going to take care of this. Steve Nash elevates his coaching. We get us, 2, 3 more solid role players. We good to go.
Yeah. Because I mean, you can't duplicate what Kyrie does, but I think with what you
No.
have in Cam Thomas, you got a real big two-way guard who has the ability to guard 1 through 4, 1 through
Yep.
3 a little bit more comfortably.
Yeah.
To me, if you can find a way to send Kyrie to like a Minnesota, get back some valuable bench players, maybe even find it. By that time, I think we're gonna have a good idea if the Cat Gobert is gonna work. You send him to Minnesota, you go get Gobert. This is hypothetically speaking if that don't work.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think there's no way that Minnesota can. I think they have to be locked in for 3 years with
For
that
3 years
deal.
with Gobert, yeah. But I
Mainly
just don't
because
think Kyrie. I don't think Kyrie stays there.
okay, I mean I could definitely see that too though. But I just think on the Minnesota end, I think for Minnesota and Cleveland, they both have to see this trade 3 years through. Like I think both of the teams have to invest 3 years into it to be like, okay, one, we're probably out of the Warriors window dominance. The Clippers probably soiled it again and blew off each other, you know what I'm saying? And all have separated ways. And it's going to be amazing to see that the rate for Donovan Mitchell and the Cavs and Rudy Gobert and the Timberwolves for them to succeed is to take the two pieces that were the best part of Utah, and now they have to be the third best player on a contending team. Because
Yeah,
Rudy Gobert, Anthony Edwards, and Cat still have to be the 1 and 2. And on the Cavs, if they want to be successful, Evan Mobley and Garland have to be the 1 and 2.
yep,
And then these guys become the third best player. And if you could say Mitchell and Gobert are your third best player, that's a contending team. Like
yeah.
that's a team you can say, okay,
You're
this
on a
team can
real good
contend.
team.
Yeah, you're on a really, really good team. For Minnesota, move. You can find you another guard better for yourselves than D'Lo. I think D'Lo's time. I think you can find you a better guard. For Cleveland, patience, patience, patience. And if Evan Mobley does take this leap like we think he is, and people project him to be, y'all will be fine. Y'all definitely will be fine. So Isaac Okoro, the rest of them, we'll see how that goes. But the Cavs should definitely be a team that to be watched out for.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'm with you. I do think Kyrie could find a way out, especially if Ben Simmons comes back and he's playing like he was before.
yeah.
Literally, no different. Just
Hell,
Ben Simmons. If
he
you're Ben
might
Simmons,
end up
cool.
he might end up over there in LA anyways, right?
Yeah.
Like that might be why LA's just chilling on those 2 picks. I think
Yep.
eventually the East is gonna figure out the East. Now, if we're looking at the East, we're looking at the West. Who's your top 3 teams based on what's locked out right now, pending the Jay Crowder trade? Because I know Jay Crowder, I think, moves the needle for a lot of teams, similar to what PJ Tucker did.
Damn if Jay Crowder goes to Miami, right? It just seems like such a Miami move.
Back to Miami, yeah. Back to Miami.
Yeah. So my top 3 teams in the West, I'm pretty firm on. Denver, Golden State, Clippers. I'm pretty firm on that. I'm also pretty firm on this is the Luka MVP year though. Top 3 teams in the East: Milwaukee, Brooklyn, and Miami. I still think you can't out you. I still think as good as people got players, you still can't out coach Eric. You still can't out coach Poe.
Yeah.
So those would be the 3 teams that I say are the top 3 in each of the conference.
I think I'm agree with you there. I'm agree with you there for sure. I think Brooklyn still has an ability to go and sign some free agents just to fill out that roster, get them some pieces. Hell, they might even find a way to go and get Jay Crowder.
Yeah.
And I think that'll be a huge piece to be able to put a Jay Crowder at the 4, even at the 3 with KD at the 4, to go and do all the dirty work on defense, catch and shoot with Kyrie, KD, a Ben Simmons, Kyrie pick and roll. That like what?
Yeah.
There's a lot of potential over there, man. It
really is.
Nasty. But I'm gonna agree with you for sure. I'm excited for the NBA
Really
season.
excited. Oh yeah. All right, y'all. Ready to wrap this up?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank y'all for rocking with us. Getting ready to head out.
Cool.
Always appreciate y'all coming through. We're gonna start to upload some other things so that you don't just have to wait for us on Tuesday. We be trying to adjust life all the time according to our schedule because family life and mental health is most important. That's why we haven't done our Wednesday TTE talks, taking a smoke break. I know we're supposed to technically start those back up next week. But I'm thinking of a new plan with that. We're congregating, putting stuff together. But as always, y'all, if there's one thing that's for sure, is we always gonna be right back here Tuesday nights, recapping, talking sports. So be ready. We're gonna
Appreciate you,
try to do
Greg.
some new
Much
things.
love to you,
Yeah,
dog.
Greg, TT, Malesi, Prime, all y'all always coming through, man. We enjoy it. We'll always be here Tuesday. So if y'all don't see nothing from us between now and next Tuesday, then y'all come in the chat next Tuesday and be like, hey, y'all said y'all was gonna do something. And they'll be like, oh damn, we do have to do something. So let's get it in. All right.
Cool.
Appreciate y'all. Yeah.
Much love to y'all. Have a good weekend.